Playhouse Theatre today. We would like to acknowledge that we are on Wiradjuri country, where stories have been told and shared for over 70,000 years. We would like to pay our respects to elders past and present. And while we would love you to tell all your friends about the show after the performance, we ask you to please switch your mobile phone and turn any other electronic devices now to off while you're in the theatre. Yes, even your Snapchat and Instagram alerts. Thank you and enjoy the show.
So, my daughter at the age of 10 attended her first climate strike. She's worried. No, we all are, aren't we? Well, those of us who believe the science, who choose to listen to the science, who believe it's within our power to do something, anything about the science. So, a 10-year-old girl strikes. She was one of the youngest, but her voice was as loud as the rest as they marched down the main street of Wagga Wagga towards the minister's office. Now, after the endless droughts and years with no rain, now ash is raining down on us. Family homes, just embers. And our wildlife, billions of animals, they say. The scale of it all, I just can't. A black summer indeed. And it's not as if the Australian wildlife is having a particularly good time before the bushfires either. I mean, the rate of extinction here, right now, that's a species gone, for good. Amazing creatures like the pink cockatoo, the black-flanked rock wallaby, the platypus, koalas even, all endangered now. I mean, when was the last time you saw a platypus? Anyone? Or a bilby? Will our grandchildren ever see one, or will they just be ancient history? As good as dinosaurs. The stuff of museums, stuffed only. Is this just what we've got to get used to now? Floods, fires, droughts, dead fish in our rivers. Dead fish in our rivers. It's like Mother Nature just got so pissed off with a lot of us that she just needed to give us a massive slap in the face. Slap, 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 slap. Stop sleepwalking your way to oblivion. But will it work? Will we wake up? Will we listen? What a mess our generation is handing to our children, eh? Ooh, I heard this the other day. 2 planets meet. The first planet says, hey, g'day, how are you? The second planet says, oh no, not too good. I've got the Homo sapiens. Ew, replied the first one. Oh, well, don't worry, I had that. They don't last long. Yes, dad climate joke. So, sometime last year, I was chattering away with Maddy. That is my daughter. And we were playing a board game, Snakes and Ladders, I think, and we were talking about books. Her favourite now, and my favourites when I was her age. She is devouring the Harry Potter series, of course. Expecto Patronum! But one of my favourites was this one here. Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Has everyone read it? Yes. Well, I started thinking about the part of the book where the dolphins flee from Earth forever, leaving one final message. So long, and thanks for all the fish! And I was wondering if this could have been a bit of a nod to the early days of thinking about the threat of climate change, with the dolphins smart enough to get out while the going was good. Although, of course, in the story, the imminent catastrophe that the Earth was facing was an intergalactic Vogon spaceship blowing everything up to make way for a hyperspace bypass. Not a climate emergency. Anyway, I was thinking all of this out loud when suddenly I realised what I was revealing to Maddy. I mean, this book came out in 1979. It is a pretty old book. And I mean, actually old, not just dad old. But it was written before I was born, and...
So you're telling me people knew before you were even born?
Yeah, maybe longer.
And then what, they just didn't do anything?
Oh, well, maybe not nothing, but not enough.
Well, clearly not enough.
No, not enough, not nearly enough. But, you know, there have been people trying, though, investigating the causes all around the world. I mean, we did fix the ozone layer.
The what?
Long story. But the point is, it's not that people haven't been trying, it's just it's a big challenge. It's going to take some time. But it's 2020. and this young girl watching her future disappear in a cloud of carbon emissions. And so then it comes.
So, if you've known all this time, then what have you done? I mean, what have you been doing all this time?
What have I done? What have I done? To save the Earth, to protect our planet, my daughter's future, my grandchildren not yet born. Not enough, that's for sure.
I hate you, Dad. You're the worst.
And I think that this is the moment when it all began. When she disappeared into this cloud, because this has been our ultimate betrayal, hasn't it? I mean, we did this, our generation. Not just our parents and our grandparents and our political leaders. I mean, sure, it goes right back to the start of the Industrial Revolution and to the British, doesn't everything. But this was our responsibility. We failed. Maddy and I lived together in our small house just outside of Wagga Wagga. So good they named it twice. When I was growing up, people said that it meant the place of many crows. But as a lot of you will know, in the local Wiradjuri language, it actually means the place where people come to dance and to celebrate. Not that much dancing lately though. Fires in the Adelong, fires in the Snowies. Air pollution here over the summer was some of the worst in the whole state. Far worse than anything those Sydney siders were whinging about. We're about 500 k's southwestish from Sydney, and a couple of hundred from Canberra. We're a university town. I lecture in English literature. When she was a kid, I used to tell her stories at night. Find herself riding on the back of dolphins, discovering hidden worlds deep within the oceans, where you might find a lobster band playing Under the Sea. Yeah, thanks, Disney. But now, well, she was looking for inspiration, for a role model. And clearly my lack of action to date and the most important threat to civilization ever did not qualify me for this role. She starts to look for books on climate change and climate activists. Greta Thunberg.
It's pronounced Thunberg, Dad.
Greta Thunberg. Maddy was in awe of Greta Thunberg. Greta threatened the establishment. She threatened the dinosaurs, the corrupt, the inept. Greta was black and white. She shone her lights. No, not a light, blowtorch. On the grey areas, on the areas that those in power wanted to keep hidden from view. And Greta spoke her mind.
We'll be a pain in the ass and keep striking. Hey, can you read the part for us?
I have learned that you are never too small to make a difference.
Thanks. Do you believe that's true, Dad?
I do.
Can anyone actually make a difference?
Of course. It doesn't matter whether you're 10 or 110, Maddy. You have to believe that everything is possible. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. The Lord of the Rings. Alright, what do we have to get ready for your first day back at school tomorrow, sweetheart?
I think my book, background.
Yeah, of course. Oh, hey, Maddy, why did the weatherman blush?
What?
He saw the climate change.
Oh, you are the worst.
Yeah, you can get out of here. Looks like the smoke's not too bad this afternoon. So, after the summer from hell, she's ready to return to school, ready for action, bold and invigorated. She's ready to talk to her friends about what they could do together. Start a newspaper, create a movement, make some noise. Hey, how was school today? What did you all talk about? Are you all working out how to save the planet?
I don't know. They always want to play Minecraft.
Alright, did you tell them what you want to do?
They're just not that interested, Dad.
Have everyone already forgotten checking smoke quality and air levels all summer? Not being able to go outside and play, let alone open a window? Had we all just gotten so used to a sun so shrouded in smoke that you could look right at it? During the day, a black sun, and at night, a moon, glowing blood red from the fires. Insta-worthy sunsets every day. Mementos to our downfall.
It's like summer never happened.
And she loses confidence. Deflates, little by little. Hey, how was school?
Fine.
What did you all talk about?
I got homework to do that.
Maddy! Story time. Oh. Yeah. Alright. Once upon a time, there was a young girl whose town was being threatened by a great environmental catastrophe. But she had exceptional gifts and she started to hear voices. And so she started to follow those voices out across the oceans and deep into an enchanted forest where she learned of a wrong that was committed many years ago.
Yeah, no. That's the story of Frozen 2.
Really?
Yeah.
It was worth a try. So, the next night I try again. There was once a young girl who totally loved to disobey authority. And when her island was being threatened and all the fish were dying and her dad was doing nothing to help, she sailed out across the oceans to find a precious stone to return to Mother Earth.
Dad, that's Moana. Do you know any stories about Moana?
No, well, it's really hard. There's no new stories anymore. Well, I'll steal honestly next time, okay? I'll recycle some from history. Oh, I thought you wanted me to be recycling more. So, for the next few nights, I tell her about some real-life heroes. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. Actually, someone over here who wants to have a read over here. Anyone? Can you just read that little bit out for us?
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
Give her a clap! Well done! Mandela! So perhaps it was my fault. Perhaps my primer in non-violent civil disobedience was a little premature. Did I dream of her growing up to save the world? Yeah. Maybe. Doesn't every parent want their child to grow up to be a real-life superhero? But was I prepared for the consequences?
Great, but you have to do that here. You're kind of in our way.
There's a climate emergency. It's kind of in the way of my future.
So what exactly do you want me to do about that?
I want you to do something.
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. No comment. I said no comment.
Excuse me.
No, sorry. Miss Thompson isn't seeing anyone today.
No, it's actually you.
God, you're not another eco-warrior, are you? Oh, sorry, but I don't have time for any more of you today. We have a comments box by the door, or you can visit the minister's website.
No, I need to...
Goodbye. Thank you for visiting. Goodbye. You still here? Go home, kid. Go home.
Maddy, you ready for school? It's time to go. What's this?
Made new sign. Do you like it?
I love it. But where's your school uniform?
It's Friday, Dad.
Oh, I just thought, well, hang on, are you missing out on a bit too much school now?
Dad, I thought you were with me on this. Every Friday I know
Until something is done. Yes, I know. But it's been a month, Maddy. Don't you think it's time to just,
What?
well, I don't know, take a break. Let it go for a bit.
Let it go. Dad, are you serious?
Oh, okay, hang on. But, I don't want you to get behind on your classes.
Dad, we agreed. I just have to keep up with my schoolwork, okay? I'm off. I don't want to be late for the others.
Well, hang on, I might need to check in with your mother about this. I don't want her
Dad,
getting...
it's fine. Mum knows.
And?
She's fine with it. She's fine with it. Dad.
Okay, I'm sorry, Maddy, I'm sorry. I just worry about you all by yourself.
I'm not myself, Dad. Lily's with me, and Bridget, and Charlie.
Okay, great. Okay, well, I'll pick you up after my lectures then.
Time is running out. We need to talk. Meet me at Romano's. Scammers. When are they going to give up?
How cool was that, Dad?
Another climate rally.
Thanks for coming with me.
Well, I care too, yeah? It's not just your generation that's worried.
How come you left it all up to us to fix it then?
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Hey, Mum didn't come.
Oh, well, I think she might be still a bit annoyed with you for telling me she was okay with you protesting on your own when she wasn't. You might have to work on her a bit more, I think.
Yeah, okay, I'll try.
Each week she's joined at a protest by a few more kids, but it's still only a handful, maybe 5 or 6 on a good day.
What do we want? Climate action! When do we want it? Now!
People throw coins at them sometimes.
I'm not a buster.
Sometimes the others just yell at them to get out of the way.
I have as much right to be here as you do.
Jacqueline Thompson, MP, federal member for the Riverina, sends out one of her staffers every so often.
Look, kid, right now everyone is busy dealing with the fires. Now is not the time.
Mostly they're just too easy to ignore. There's a lovely view of the lagoon from Thompson's office, but not that much foot traffic. So, they pack up, move further down Fitzmaurice Street, and set up outside the courthouse.
Bye, kids. Happy protesting.
Can anyone spare some time to help me save the world?
People keep joining. Some kids are grabbing musical instruments, and the Friday protests become quite an event, which attracts more kids.
Our children will ask us, which side are you on? Part of the solution or part of the con?
So that by the time school goes back, it's not just a handful anymore. It is almost half the kids from year 5 and 6. And sure, maybe some of them are doing it just to skip school, and some of them are doing it just to hang out with their mates, but they showed up.
When the climate is under attack, what do we do? Stand up on back! When the climate is...
Will you shut up?
Maddy's new Friday school strike spot is getting some attention, but she decides she still needs a bigger audience for her protests, so she tries a new tactic. She gets mobile.
Don't you know your coffee cup is killing the green sea turtles?
Protesting outside cafes.
Do you really pollute the environment?
Inside cafes.
Do you know where those plastic straws will end up?
At the supermarket.
Oh, you need to pollute the environment with that one roll of toilet paper, huh?
Outside banks.
Don't you know they fund coal mining?
Even yelling at passing cars from the street.
Why do you need such big cars for one person? Think of the planet.
Shaming the whole town.
Why are you even driving? Ride a bike.
Like Cassandra, cursed with a gift of foresight.
Why is no one listening to me?
As she warns the world of its imminent destruction.
You're back. It's Friday.
Look, I'm you think we can do here? We are such a minuscule proportion of the world's population, like a tiny grain of rice in a Chinese banquet. You don't seriously think anything we do here in the Riverina is going to make the slightest bit of difference, do you? Go and protest at the Chinese embassy, or the Indian embassy for that matter, if you're this worried. There's not much point in us doing anything unless they act, is there?
Listen, we will only be a tiny portion of the world's population, but every one of us is releasing around 17 tons of carbon emissions every year. That's more than 3 times the average person on the planet.
Look, our government is doing all it can at this time. We're investing in real solutions. You need to study more and worry less.
But that's not true, is it?
What isn't true?
Not investing in real solutions. Not like renewable energy. That's real. And there's way more we could be doing, like not burning 50 million barrels of coal every day for a start.
So you're suggesting we put all those coal mining families out of work? Send all those hard-working farmers to the dole queue? Is that what you're suggesting?
There are jobs in renewable energy.
Really?
You know, Australia is the second biggest exporter of fossil fuels in the world. Australia has the highest greenhouse gas emissions per capita from coal in the world.
Look, I'm just not sure where you're getting these numbers from.
I learned them at school.
It sounds to me like you're making things up now.
I'm not making this up. These statistics, it's science. What we do here does make a difference.
I think it's time for more learning and less activism, young lady.
I don't see a point in going back to school until my government starts listening to the science.
So how long do you intend to stay here then?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes for what?
You're acting like we could get to net zero by 2050 by letting somebody else do something in 2049, okay? If we wait till then, it's going to be too late.
Look, it's not that simple.
Did you see the fires? Why can't you see what's happening to the world? Why can't you see it the way I see it?
Okay, I've had enough now. You've had your fun. When will you get it into your head that no one cares, okay? We just don't care.
Oh. Someone caught the exchange on their phone. It went viral.
What are you looking at? I just said what everyone else was thinking. Now isn't the time, is it? There's enough to deal with already without all the 3-knee nutters. So it's hotter this year. Next year, it'll be cooler, right? Things change, don't they? I lost my job now. Guess that's changed. You again. Do you work here now or something?
No, I need to.
You lot, if you're not demanding more bike lanes and chanting 2 wheels good, 4 wheels bad, then you're stomping your feet for more electric car charging stations and telling us we should all be driving a Tesla or something.
I think you have me confused.
Just get on your bike and get out of here.
I just need to talk.
Don't come near me. I'm out of here. Who are you? Are you following me? Pick up. Pick up. Trust him. A car will arrive shortly. Follow the map. What map? What the?
You need to come with me.
You stay back.
Our car's arrived. We'll stop at our house, your house, for some essential things, but we need to leave now.
Please help.
Take this tablet. The lunar eclipse is coming, Miss Katie.
Hey,
And that is her option.
And then the pandemic struck. COVID-19, the 21st century plague. And everything changed. Everything stopped. The world stood still. And the climate crisis was, for a time, by many forgotten. Planes stayed grounded. Cars stayed mostly parked. Dolphins returned to canals in Venice. Perhaps. Or perhaps not. At any rate, people stayed home, retreating to safety in their Ugg boots and their dressing gowns, baking bread, tending to their gardens, watching Netflix, having Zoom cocktail parties, and
Dad! I need help with my maths worksheet.
enduring home schooling.
What's an obtuse angle?
And perhaps, well, maybe I was a little relieved at hitting pause on the merry-go-round for a while. The idea of conservation, that's one thing, but active protest. To think is easy. To act is difficult. To act is one thinks, that is the most difficult. That is good. But I've always been more of a think globally, act locally, panic internally. Sort of, a bit of a keyboard warrior at best, and then suddenly all this with Maddy. I guess what I'm saying is that at first, lockdown seemed like a pretty useful circuit breaker. And so for Maddy and I, saving the world from environmental catastrophe, that might just have to wait a while.
When I come to, I'm off to God knows where, with a headache, and at my feet, my backpack, stuffed with a towel, this strange tablet, and a couple of pairs of undies. Hey, did you pack this? Rumbling through my underwear drawer, seriously. And even if I wear these twice and inside out, that's hardly going to last too long, is it? Wherever we're going. Hey, where's my phone? Where's my handbag?
Don't worry, I have it all under control. You'll soon be safe.
Safe! You kidnapped me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, how is your head?
So,
Take these. They'll ease the pain.
are you going to tell me where we're going, at least?
We had to get out before the planes were grounded.
Why are the planes going to be? How do you know that? And suddenly, I realise we're in a small, too small, way too small plane, now rumbling down a tiny airstrip, and we're off! I look out the window, hoping to see someone speeding along the runway to rescue me, but as the ground disappears from view, it hits me. We're not in a Hollywood movie. I'm being kidnapped And no one is coming to rescue me. Career in ruin, a string of exes. No one is coming because no one knows I've gone. Because I've forgotten to keep any friends. Who does that? Alone. And we fly low. And I see the country, the burnt out veins of the land still ashen from the fires. And I see the coal mines, giant trucks smashing through the dirt, shrinking to miniature and then vanishing into the center of the earth. And charred trees and dry rivers. And I see.
Time to wake up.
Huh? What?
We've arrived.
Where?
Come on, come on.
Hey, how's your day?
Fine.
Fine? Who did you hang out with at school?
No one, really?
No one? Well, that sounds fun. Does everyone happen to be back and out of lockdown?
Yeah, I suppose.
Did you learn anything good then?
No.
Hey, you're not eating.
Yeah, I'm not hungry.
You didn't eat your lunch either.
Yeah, I wasn't hungry. You gave me ham.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. But what's wrong with dinner? You've always loved spag bowl.
It's meat, Dad.
Oh,
And cheese, and there's egg in the pasta.
okay, I'm sorry.
Dad, you know going vegan is the best way to reduce our environmental impact. We're up to
73%, yes, Maddy, I do remember you learning that. Yes, I'm sorry. Got a lot on at the moment. It's a bit stressful at the uni at the moment. I'm not really thinking properly. I'll make you something else, but you have to promise me to eat it, okay?
Yeah, think about it.
Hi, Maddy, I don't want you to protest tomorrow. It's too dangerous now. I'm worried about you. Hey, did you hear me? I don't want you to go this time. Well,
I have to. Tomorrow's Friday. Hashtag Friday's future.
yeah, but you know it's illegal now, Maddy. Hey, are you listening to me? The current health orders don't allow it. But I said no. You have to let it rest now for a bit.
If I don't go, no one will. Hardly anyone goes anymore anyway. You can come with me again if you're so worried.
I thought you said you didn't want me there anymore.
I didn't mean not ever. I'm just an 11-year-old kid. Dad, what are they gonna do? Arrest me?
Oh, Maddy. Okay, you can go. But you have to at least wear your mask.
I will, Dad, I will. I'll take care, I promise. Thank you.
Okay, now let me get you something else to eat.
So now, I'm in the back of this pickup truck, and we're dashing through streets lined with shelves, through busy markets, past lots of stray dogs. One of them tries to get in the truck. Past thatched huts and bungalows, past eco-friendly resorts, past palm trees, many palm trees, and I'm struck by how lush and green it all is. Where are we?
Hello! Welcome to Samoa, my home.
Samoa! Why? Also, I'm quite hungry. Is there somewhere to eat?
Of course. We'll eat as soon as we arrive.
And soon we found ourselves winding high up to the top of a mountain shrouded in clouds. And as we wound higher and higher into the mist, although I was weak from hunger, I was a little glad not to have anything in my stomach. Can we stop for a moment? I think I'm going to be...
Always look ahead. It helps.
I don't think I can hold it in any longer. How much higher up this mountain do we have to go?
Mountain. This is a volcano.
What?
Don't worry, it hasn't erupted in a long time.
How long exactly?
Oh, yeah.
And when we stop, finally. The view is breathtaking. We must be 1,000 meters high up.
We're about halfway up. Welcome to Mount Silly Silly.
We climb some steps around the side of a steep cliff face. And suddenly, a strange little door appears in the side of the rocks. A door in the side of a rock face, high up in the clouds. What?
Chief!
Cole, don't dig it! Leave it in the ground, come get with it! Cole, don't dig it! Leave it in the ground, come get with it! Cole, don't dig it! Leave it in the ground, come get with it!
Time to move on, young lady.
No, thank you. I'm fine where I am. Cole,
No.
don't dig it!
You're not. Actually, you need to move on.
I can't, I'm sorry.
This is an illegal march. You need to move on.
I have the right to be here. It's a free punishment, isn't it? Cole!
This is the courthouse, and there's a health order. You can't protest here.
Then where can I protest?
Nowhere.
How is that fair?
Well, write an email or an online petition or something, but you can't protest here.
Look, I'm even wearing my mask, okay? Cole,
Okay.
don't dig it!
Okay, I'm not asking you now. I'm telling you. Can't protest here. Who's here with you?
Just me.
Okay, well, do your parents know you're here?
Of course I do.
Well, then where are they?
It's my future. Why does it work?
And your mum?
I don't know. She's probably at work as well.
Oh. Okay, well, you can't protest here. I'm only telling you
Get
what
up!
time.
Get down! Let's go!
No! No! Let's go. Come on. You
Seriously?
can't protest here. This way, let's go.
Where are we
I
going?
told you, you can't protest here. Come on.
Inside now, and that innocuous doorway has revealed a sumptuous home in the side of this hopefully dormant volcano. The room is warm and luxurious and strangely zen. Photographs. Generations of family adorn the walls. His family? If so, his family goes back some way and includes a bird. Nice outfit.
My family.
And the bird?
The Manumea bird, Samoa's national bird. I'm Tino Vinga Tamasese. Let me pour you some tea.
For a moment, we drink in silence and look out. The clouds have cleared, and I can see we're surrounded by lush green rainforest. Far below, golden beaches. The ocean glistening in the sun. I can hear the sound of bird call just outside.
This is Shaheen.
Okay. Can you tell me what I'm doing here now?
I have something for you, an important task. That's why I brought you here today.
Oh, you mean drag me here?
We were out of time. Now this will seem a little...
Did you say that you had some food prepared?
Of course. Soup.
Wow.
Bread?
Yes, please.
And now this...
What if
this
I
thing-
asked for a gin and tonic?
Please, by all means, nourish yourself with this soup. You will need the extra energy.
For what exactly?
There's a job I need you to do. Precious package you must collect to contain seeds that have been left for you and only you.
Wait. You're not trying to get me to be some sort of drug mule. Oh, no. I am not getting some package and smuggling and getting myself arrested in some foreign jail for the rest of my life. I'm not stupid. I've seen Chappelle. They got Hilton.
You don't understand, these are not drugs. These seeds will help restore the ecological balance that has been so disrupted by humanity.
Sounds a lot like drugs to me.
Not drugs, seeds.
And they're what, magic or something? Like magic beans?
Yeah, if you like. Stay in.
And you want me to do what? Exactly, huh?
We'll go together to collect them, where they're being safely stored in anticipation for your arrival, and then you will plant them.
You know, I seriously think you've kidnapped the wrong person here. Sounds to me like you want me to be some sort of glorified courier. Being mule, perhaps? Why on earth do you think I am going to help you with this?
Because the earth is dying, and we need you to help us save it.
They've let you off this time with a warning, but this is serious. Maddy, you have to stop the protests for good.
Well, that's not happening, is it?
Maddy, we haven't got a choice. I've assured them that you're done now.
What? Why would you say that? How am I done?
Well, what did you expect? This time they've let you off. Next time, I don't think we're going to be so lucky.
We don't have time.
To do what? To save the world? Maddy, you have to stop.
But the doomsday clock is ticking. The scientists have just moved it to 100 seconds to midnight. The closest it's ever been.
This is not just something you can go and fix, Maddy. This is too big.
Whatever happened to even the smallest person could change the course of the future?
Okay. You're right. Okay, we can write letters. Let's write a letter to our local MP. She might appreciate hearing from you directly rather than just yelling at her outside her office.
Letters again? Who even writes letters anymore?
Well, what about a petition then? Well, a letter to the PM. No, a really good letter to the PM.
I thought you wanted to do something real. Yeah, I thought you were with me.
I am with you, Maddy.
No, you're not. All you want to do is tell stories. Telling stories isn't actually doing anything, is it? Come with me to the next protest like you used to.
I can't, Maddy. I could lose my job if I was even seen at one.
You don't know that.
Oh, well, I have a pretty good idea.
Why did you tell me about all those heroes taking a risk to make a difference if you're too scared to do it yourself, huh? Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Rosa Parks? They saved the world sitting on the sofa and tweeting.
No, that's not fair, Maddy. I donate too.
Being a keyboard warrior is not enough anymore, Dad. You have to stand up for what you believe in.
Well, I'm sorry, Maddy. I really am. Maybe telling stories is all I have. Now is not the time. You have to stop the Friday protests.
We are moving the hands of the dreams they are 2 minutes closer to midnight. When you look up to the stars, flashing diamonds in the biggest, blackest star, unimaginable space sings songs so above, so below. You ain't ever really know how equally impactful and unimportant we are.
Our planet is dying. Oh no, this isn't all about global warming, is it?
In our future, our current future, the Earth will die. Terrible overheating, famines, ice caps melting, sea levels rising. We haven't done enough. The governments of the world have not done enough.
Look, I don't work for the government anymore. If this is all some elaborate charade to get me to convince the minister to
Right,
reduce...
we've long given up on the Australian Parliament. We've seen what happens when we wait for action.
What do you mean we've seen what happens?
Eventually, the governments of the world give up on our planet. The terrible activity from humans is just too great. Look out the window. All the fishing boats, the houses, the markets, the people you saw as we arrived yesterday, they'll all be swept away, along with the homes of our brothers and sisters in Tokelau, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Niue.
What, like Atlantis or something?
Exactly. Victims to humanity's obsession with more. But unlike Atlantis, our story is real. And so we send our children away to find us a new home.
You mean a new island?
No, a new planet.
A new planet? But this is all extremely fascinating, but I am not buying your science fiction stories.
But it's all real.
Okay, fine, but I get my news from alternative sources.
As do I get mine from nature.
Really?
I've seen what happens. I've seen entire islands disappear under rising sea levels. Cultures become erased. Animals become extinct.
Look! Just take me back, okay? I'm not buying.
Hey, Maddy. Oh, graffiti, Maddy, I don't believe this. Was this really you?
You said I had to stop the Friday protests.
Yeah, but I didn't say you could start the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday protests. I didn't say that you could graffiti, Maddy. This is...
I thought people might see them along the river.
Oh, sneaking out in the middle of the night, Maddy, I don't believe this.
Then did you see them though?
You can't recycle wasted time. Wake up, humans, you're in danger too. You'll die of old age, I'll die of climate change.
Pretty good, eh?
Maddy, those walls belong on people's businesses, on people's homes. They're not the ones responsible.
Of course they
Oh,
are.
what do they do to deserve this?
They haven't done enough. No one has. You said so yourself.
Maddy, there are other problems in the world right now. Now is not the time. I am very disappointed in you, Madeline.
Oh, you're just like all the politicians now, aren't you? Now is not the time.
Well, you don't have to do everything straight away. It will be okay.
You don't know that. If we just go back to shouting at the news, then nothing will change.
Well, but I also know that you can't do all of this on your own.
I'm not on my own, Dad. My friends are with me. Lily and Bridget.
Right. So why are you the only person I'm picking up from the police station? Maddy, we don't have enough support yet.
Exactly. That's why we can't stop.
Look, some people won't change their way of life without a fight. Change is hard.
So we're supposed to sit in our hands and wait now, huh?
Look, even if you protested every single day, even if you organised 1,000 students to march from here to Canberra and protest outside Parliament House, it's not going to...
Wait.
What? I just said even if you were going to organise 1,000 students to march from here to Canberra and protest... What?
A student walked to Canberra.
No.
That's brilliant.
That's
Daddy,
not
that's
right.
genius.
No, I wasn't.
Yes.
Maddy! Oh, why do I keep talking? My mouth.
is already happening right here, right now. Our lives are changing forever and it doesn't get any better.
Oh, how do you know?
Because I look at the sky and I look at the ocean and I see the change to my home every day, every week.
Looks pretty gorgeous to me.
And because I see the future.
What?
And because I've met your daughter.
My daughter? I don't have a daughter.
You will one day. Her name's Ava. She's a biologist. She was part of a mission.
Ava? A biologist, huh? So who's the kid's father? Doctor? Lawyer? Dentist?
That's not what's important.
It is
What
to me.
She was one of the children sent away to find us all somewhere to live. And when she came back, she discovered more than just a new home. She returned with a solution.
This is what you want me to pick up and smuggle across borders around the globe.
I wouldn't have said smuggle.
And where do they come from?
Planet B.
Okay, now I know you're taking the biscuits.
Planet B is not its real name, of course. Kepler 452b is its official name.
Kepler 45. Like the potato.
It's several galaxies away, orbiting a red dwarf star.
So you're telling me my daughter travels back from Potato Planet and all she wants to give me is a bunch of seeds?
We've been trying to contact you for some time, you know.
What? How?
Those letters. I know this is a lot to take in. But Ava is counting on you.
We are moving the hands of the doomsday clock 2 minutes closer to midnight.
The youth are rising. No more compromising. Today, we've all done something amazing. Everybody said we couldn't do this. We've come here from all over the state to make our voices heard. We did it. But before we reach Parliament House, I want us all to remember that they will be waiting for us. Dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon, we must face a choice between what is right and what is easy. Dumbledore. But this is no fantasy, this is our planet, and it's really happening. And we need the federal government to stop digging up our future. It's our lives they're playing with, and we need them to stop listening to science and seeing that our world is literally on fire. Do you know what the world's leading causes of climate change are? Coal and gas. Do you want to guess who's the world's biggest exporter of both? We are. You want to know what the other biggest cause is? Clearing forests. You want to guess who wins the prize for this also? We do. We may be a small country, but we're currently leading the way in destroying the planet. There is no planet B, so we need a plan B. We need to stop the path we're on and look after the world we have. Now. We've all been betrayed by our parents, by our grandparents. They made us think that ditching plastic straws, taking shorter showers, and recycling would make it all go away. It's not even close to enough. They've ignored this crisis for too long. They've left it up to us. We're not going to sit in our hands and wait for someone else to rescue us, okay? We're going to strike, and we're going to keep striking until those in power do something and start acting like their lives depend on it. We may be small in numbers. We may be not yet old enough to vote, but we can make a difference. Repeat after me. What do we want? Climate action. When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Climate action.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate action.
When do we want it?
Now!
So, when am I supposed to do this thing?
Now, we need to leave right now. All the seeds must be planted before the next lunar eclipse, and the next one is 1 week away.
No pressure, right? And what if I can't do what you need me to do?
Katie, we allow the planet to fall into this terrible state, so we must undo the damage we have done.
What's all this we, Tino? This is not my
We're
fault.
all responsible.
Oh, not me.
All of us. What?
I just thought of my old job and imagined what my boss, Jacqueline Thompson, would think if she saw me now.
This is your job now. A surprise for us too. Mother Nature does possess the gift of irony.
Are they feeding you okay?
It's okay.
Really?
No, it's pretty gross.
So are you eating then or not?
Yeah, but yet you don't get upset.
Maddy, you have to eat.
It's fine.
Youth detention is not fine. Maddy. I can't believe... Your friends at school send their love. Everyone's been calling to see how you're going.
Okay.
So, how are you going?
Fine.
What did you do this morning?
Nothing.
Anyone to talk to?
What do you want me to say, Dad? I just want to get out. When am I getting out?
We have to wait for the hearing.
Where exactly do you want to take me?
Svalbard. The seeds are waiting for us there.
Svalbard?
Svalbard, part of Norway, to the Doomsday Vault.
A what?
You told me you were going away with your mother. Uh-huh. Exactly. Can you imagine how I felt when I found out that you weren't with her?
Sorry.
Maddy, you can't save the world in a week.
At least I tried.
And you also can't save the world if you get yourself killed.
Wow.
Why the grim name?
The Doomsday Vault stores essential seeds in case
Doomsday comes.
Precisely.
And seeds are the thing that will save us?
Tell me more about what actually happened.
Well, first we caught the busted gun guy.
There's a track of one to an old fish shack.
Okay. There were about 50 or so of us on the bus, and then a couple hundred joined us there.
Did you make a wish at the dog in the tucker box?
Of course.
And?
Well, obviously I wished for an end to climate change, didn't I? Duh.
Alright, and then what?
And then, by the time we got to Canberra, there were thousands. Thousands. I mean, thousands of people.
But the police were there waiting for you.
On horseback.
Not the Prime Minister,
No, definitely not.
or the Environment Minister, or the Opposition Leader.
There were a lot of TV cameras.
Yeah.
And someone saw drones following us.
Right, so it's not like the police didn't know you were on your way.
They weren't like regular police, Dad. They had capsicum spray and armor. They were like stormtroopers.
Yeah, riot police at a student strike. Whose idea was it to chain yourselves to the flagpoles? Was it your idea?
Sort of. Not just me. Where's everyone else?
Oh, they've all gone home. Some of them have been charged.
So why am I still here?
And they think you're the ringleader.
I'm 12.
They want you to give them names, Maddy.
How could I? It's not like I tipped the roll or anything.
I heard your speech. It was a pretty great speech.
I just want to go home, Dad.
So will you do it?
Do I have a choice?
Not really. The planet's counting on you.
Doomsday, here we come! Wait, what? Is the bird coming too?
Watching all the streets is not the only way to change things. Now you've gone and done it, and we locked you in the basement. Watching all the streets is not the only way to change things. The kids are.
Once upon a time, there was a young princess who was very, very spoiled and very, very selfish. One day, while she was playing by the pond, she heard a frog croaking. He seemed to be stuck on some weeds, or maybe it was some sort of plastic ring. He was a southern corroboree frog, which meant that he was endangered.
The girl didn't know this, and she ignored it.
She didn't know that he was one of the last of his kind, and that if she didn't help save him, he and his whole kind might very well become extinct.
She was too busy playing. She had a beautiful golden ball. It was her favourite toy.
And she had a lot of amazing toys, so that was saying something. But maybe it was the way that the light caught this golden ball.
Or maybe it was that beautiful little tinkling sound whenever she rolled it or threw it in the air.
But today, when she threw it into the air, it landed in the pond.
She hated the pond. She couldn't stand the smell. It made her want to be sick. She called out for her mother, the queen, to come and fetch a ball for her. But no answer. She called for her father, the king, to come and fetch her ball. She called for her servant. She even whistled for her dog. But no one came. And then there was a sound from the pond itself.
Excuse me, would you like me to fetch your ball for you? I could help you if you'd like.
Really? Is this a trick?
No trick, you just have to help me untangle myself from this plastic ring. I've been croaking all day, but I seem to be all alone.
The princess nearly felt sorry for the frog. Perhaps because she also felt a certain kinship. She also felt alone. But frogs are so dirty and smelly, and I didn't go anywhere near the pond.
What to do? To save her ball and so that she could continue to play her game, she would have to help the frog.
But to help the frog, she would have to overcome her deep aversion to the slimy frog. And let's be honest, her deep aversion generally to helping others.
Please help me. The water is getting warmer every day and I really need to get free. I promise you, as soon as I'm loose, I'll fetch a beautiful ball.
What to do?
But without that simple act of kindness, Maddy, the frog couldn't save the princess.
But the princess can save the frog.
Exactly. Off to sleep now, sweetheart. When she was arrested, Maddy was handcuffed, searched, dragged to a police station and interviewed for hours. Because it was the weekend, she was held in custody until the hearing. No one reading stories at night to kids in jail.
Stuck in a bare room on a scungy old mattress and a hard steel bed. I thought school camp was hard. Who knew I'd actually be arrested? I'm 12.
The age of criminal responsibility in Australia, it's 10 years old.
I mean, at 10, you used to read me bedtime stories. At 10, you barely let me out of the house by myself. At 10, you didn't even let me watch the last 2 Harry Potter films.
Well, maybe I should have protected you more. Let you stay a kid longer.
I guess it's too late for that now.
Yes. After an agonising wait, Maddy was finally released on bail.
Home again. This is my story now. It's my story now.
All I can see is snow, Tito. Snow, snow, snow in every direction. Where are we headed? Why all the way out here?
It's freezing. It's isolated. Do you see anyone else around?
Not a living soul.
Hi. Cook fit. Futan, Maddy.
Hi. Just gonna make Tino.
Tino! Legacy exists! Welcome. At long last. It is so good to meet you, Miss Peterson.
Oh, Katie is fine. How did you...
My name is Solveig. Welcome to the Svalbard Global Sea Boat.
Coming yours this way. Please, wait here. Can I get you both a warm drink, a cup of cocoa?
Yes, please.
School!
Good.
Go.
Come and see. Come and see what we have been holding for you all these years.
Incredible.
They're gleaming. Are they the...
Shimmering gold.
Arctic blue?
And glittering emerald green.
Oh, these are exquisite. And they're all for us.
And she also left you a gift, too.
Wow. So heavy. I love it. Where's it from?
Kepler B. Oh, and a note, too. Here.
I want to see the world the way you saw it. Let's change history together. Ava.
Oh, wonderful, no. Oh. So, you know what to do then?
I don't. I mean, sort of, but not exactly.
You have here 7 seeds you need to plant across the globe. You must plant each and every little one of them. Remember, there are no spares. Now, the green seeds are to be planted deep into the soil in our largest continents. The gold are to be buried in the sand in our vast deserts. And lastly, the blue seeds are to be buried in our 2 greatest oceans, buried deep within the ocean floor. Do you understand?
Deserts, continents, oceans. Oh, Tina, help!
You'll be fine, Katie. We'll do what needs to be done. Thank you.
Are you sure she can do this?
She wouldn't have been chosen otherwise.
By her daughter.
She must have given her cause to trust her, so we must also.
Must be now. I'm sorry, I'm not convinced.
And what are you saying?
I'm not releasing these seeds to just anyone. There are no second chances with this task. And this girl.
The lunar eclipse is less than 1 week away.
I'm sorry, but until you give me reason to trust her, the seeds stay with me.
What did you...
Everything is fine.
Why is she leaving with our seeds?
Maddy, you know you're only out on bail on condition that you don't protest anywhere or see anyone from the march, okay?
Seriously? That's all my friends. How is that even possible?
Well, the hearing will come up before we know it, but you need to keep a low profile, okay? So that means no more futures for Fridays and no more going out in the middle of the night. Do you promise?
Okay. Good. Hashtag Fridays for Future is on a temporary break.
Thank you. Now, let's lawyer up.
Funny, a lawyer turned out to be a lot harder than we thought. I mean, we got a lot of calls, but...
We really need to find someone who understands you, Maddy.
There was one that wanted me to plead guilty and give up the names of all the other protesters. Like that was ever going to happen. I think they thought I might get a reduced sentence if I acted really sorry or something.
Hey, Maddy, there's one here who reckons that you should say you were caught up in it all by accident, and you thought you were going on a school excursion to Canberra.
Lame. Then there was one that had a bit of a crazy brave idea.
So, I think we're on really strong ground in defending the case against you. I would argue it's your constitutional right to protest and that you're acting in self-defense to protect your future. I think we can leave the children's court with nothing more than a caution.
What about the flagpole business?
Well, yes, they're calling that obstructing traffic because you were blocking the entrance to Parliament House. I mean, it is serious, but I think we can get all those offences dismissed by a magistrate since it was all part of the same protest action.
Excellent.
But we've got a much bigger opportunity here. You're big news right now, Maddy. I think we can really use this attention to our advantage. What do you want more than anything right now?
I want the government to do something.
Well, how about we make them? Through the courts. How would you like to sue the Minister for the Environment?
What? Hang on, what would we be suing anyone for? Look, we just need to worry about getting Maddy off these charges and keeping her safe.
Dad, turn your
No,
thing.
Maddy.
The way I see it, the government's breached its duty of care to you. It's avoided responsibility for far too long. You're paying for it now. You'll be paying for it in the future. It's simple negligence law.
Are you serious? I can sue the government.
You know as well as I do, unless something changes, your home, your community, your future, it's all going to be impacted.
Okay, we might discuss this later, Maddy, just the two of us.
Mr.
Just call me Adrian.
Won't this be
Expensive? Don't worry, I'll do it pro bono.
for what?
Free.
Maddy, later.
No, Dad, he's the one.
Maddy, you should know if we do this, we are going to need an adult's name on the case as well as yours. So, you do both really need to be on board.
Alright, thank you so much for your time.
No, Dad!
Maddy, it is insane. It's just asking for trouble. What we need to focus on is clearing these charges against you.
We have to get him back.
Maddy, look, to do what he's saying, it could take years. And an army of very expensive lawyers. We don't have either.
But he said it would be free.
Oh, sweetheart, nothing is ever free.
Please ask.
Look, if my name is on the case, Maddy, I just don't know how the university is going to react. It is so risky.
Can you at least try?
The government would hit back so hard. Oh.
Oh, it is seriously freezing here. Like, literally freezing, probably. I'm not going to get hypothermia just standing out here, am I?
It's actually quite warm this time of year. It's only -10.
That's warm.
Are you ready? Can we count on you?
Well, how am I supposed to get around the world in less than a week? And
Quickly.
thanks a lot.
Jane's a peregrine falcon, the fastest animal on Earth. It can fly more than 300 kilometers an hour.
And what, flying with the bird?
Katie, you must find the source of your strength. Channel it now for this cause. Look deep inside you. Are you looking?
Yes.
What do you see?
I don't see anything. Oh. I'm sorry, Tino, I just can't. You've got the wrong person.
Shaheen, follow her.
So, Dad finally gave in and gave Adrian a chance, but he didn't get an army of lawyers with him. It was just one.
The government is going to come back as armed with way more experience, more research, more money.
And way more lawyers.
Oh, I'm going to have to come on board and help Adrian out with the research. So it looks like I'm going to have to take some time off work.
Oh, so I get to take time off school then?
Not a chance.
It's my name on the cases.
True. The Crown versus Madeline Wilson. I'm not sure that's anything to brag about.
What about Madeline Wilson by her litigation representative Paul Wilson versus the Minister for Environment?
Well, it's a bit of a mouthful.
So, what did the university say?
About what?
By the name of the case, of course.
Yeah. All fine.
So, Dad crams all this case law and picks up all the old legal textbooks to help Adrian out with the research. And I do what I can too, before and after school, courtesy of Google.
Where on earth am I? Is that a polar bear up there? She looks stranded. The ice has melted all around her. Hello? Anyone? I think I'm going to be... Oh boy. Stay calm. Stay calm. Do I take the melted ice caps or the polar bear? Oh, Jane! Jane! What do I do? What? What the heck? Oh, what have I got to lose?
Morocco's built a solar panel the size of Paris. It can power 1 million homes. Why can't we do something like that?
Well, we absolutely can, sweetheart. We just haven't yet. Hey, listen to this. A group of 8 Torres Strait Islanders are trying to take the Australian government to the United Nations.
That's so cool.
Haha.
Can we go to the United Nations too?
Oh, one thing at a time. Steady on. And there's also this group in the Netherlands who sued the government over climate change. It's a negligence claim, just like what we're trying to do.
So what happened?
Well, they won.
That's great, so we can just do the same thing here.
Well, it's never been tried in Australia before, so there's no guarantee the courts are going to go the same way. But this means, Maddy, we're not alone anymore.
Katie! 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 Katie!
Where on earth did she run to?
Tina! Something! This incredible creature took me right to the edge of our collapsing world. I can't unsee it. I can't look away anymore.
We shall him to guide her. She can do this. Now, please, you have to trust us.
I've never been chosen for anything before. As a kid, I was never picked for the netball team. I've never danced at the Deb. I've never even been picked for jury duty. But there's always a first. Solving, I promise I won't let you down.
You had better not. You go, girl.
You also need these. The blue seeds.
Ew, they look like slugs.
They are.
Well, what do I do?
There's no more time. Grab hold of Shaheen and go like the wind.
Good luck!
so infuriating? Well, the fact we have to argue this to the courts and to the government when they already know it all. Here, listen to this. An intergovernmental panel on climate change with leading scientists spelling it all out. Okay, that's from 1988. A greenhouse conference in Australia, it's from 1987. Reports from the CSIRO, 1971. Hey? And look at this one. This tiny news story here. 4 lines. Here in July 1912 in a local newspaper in Braidwood, that mining town a few hours from here, warning that burning coal was likely to be a bad idea. 1912. That is almost 110 years ago.
So, what did they do?
Nothing, the story just vanished.
But the government knew.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look at this. All these reports from ASIO, from the CSIRO, predictions of fires, floods, the impact on our rivers, even of pandemics. And what did they do? Bury the findings and dig another coal mine. And look, fossil fuel companies, there's all these internal memos dating all the way back to the 60s. They have all known about it for decades, and yet they've been polluting all this time.
We need to calm down. Take a break now, huh? I mean, shouldn't you be at uni or something?
It's okay, I've got someone covering my shift. We need to keep going, Maddy. Your doomsday clock is still ticking.
Yeah! Incredible! I'm flying!
Actually, I assume you know where we're going.
That's lucky. Both of us. Look at all these birds flying with us. Are they following us? Or are we following them? Actually, what happens if we see a plane?
What? We duck? That's your answer?
These fields look pretty empty to me. How am I supposed to know where to plant them? Ah, the GPS. Siberia? We're in Siberia? Okay, this is the spot. Okay, let's bury our first treasure. Nice and deep. Don't suppose you brought a shovel? Ta-da! Well, that's a bit anticlimactic, isn't it? Am I supposed to water it or something? What's that? Is that a Siberian tiger? Was she is she guarding the seeds? So, Shahid, the map said our next stop is the Congo on Kua National Park. Oh, look down there, that must be it. Stunning ancient forests. Look at that powerful winding river. Pitch me now. Oh, what a view, Shaheen. Breathe in that beautiful fresh air. Fill your lungs with it. Oh, fast movements. Gently. Gently. Smile at the nice gorilla. Don't wave! Shaheen! Shaheen! No. Oh, no. I guess this is where we plant our next seed. What now? Cocoa break? No. Time to get moving. Keep an eye on that seed for us. Catch you later, gorilla. amazing.
Do you think there's another planet out there, Dad? You know, if we don't find a solution for this one?
Ooh. What do you reckon about that one there? Do you reckon that one would work?
What? Which one? Where?
Alright, see those 3 stars there in a row in the middle of that constellation? No. Up there. Straight up there. Okay, you got it?
Maybe.
So that constellation is known as Orion the Hunter. And those 3 stars, they're Orion's belt.
Okay.
Okay, now follow up to the left and you see that big bright red star up there in Orion's armpit?
Gross. Oh, the reddish dot.
Yeah, exactly. That is called Betelgeuse.
Like the movie.
Yeah, okay, sure. But it's also near where Ford Prefect is supposed to come from in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I am done with that book. No more.
Well, Planet of the Apes is also meant to be set on a planet circling Betelgeuse.
So what's so special about it then?
Oh, well, the name.
Of course.
But it's also those big bright red stars that people think are the most likely options to have habitable planets circling them.
You mean planets where we can live?
Yeah. That's a pretty bright planet, so who knows? Maybe.
So, how long would it take to get there?
Lifetime? Several, really. If you even could. The truth is, no one really knows.
Well, let's just stick with planet Earth then, huh?
Yeah, you betcha.
Didn't you go to uni for ages? Are you ever going back to teach?
They're just, it's a bit difficult at the moment. There's been some cutbacks at the uni.
No, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really sorry, Dad.
Hey. It's okay. It's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. Okay, we've got a couple more hours of drive before we get to Sydney tomorrow, Maddy. More hot jockey?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Shaheen, we cross the Red Sea, and our next stop is the Arabian Desert. Look at those golden rolling sands stretching out below us. The first of our golden seeds. Two gorgeously graceful sand gazelles. Keep a good lookout, you two. Thanks for looking after our seedling.
So, we've just got to the Children's Court in New South Wales. Adrian managed it all pretty smoothly, but it just sounds like a whole lot of jargon from where I was standing.
I think that all went pretty well, don't you?
Oh, what, except for when they accused me of child neglect?
Or called me the liquid troublemaker.
Other than that, I think we managed to stick to our point, which is your right to protest and protect your future even during a pandemic.
So, what happens now?
Well, it's with the judge now. Next up, the Supreme Court for the big one.
Maddy versus the minister.
That's the one. You ready?
Ready as ought to be.
That's the way. So, tomorrow I've got to go down to Melbourne to see another client, so enjoy your day off.
Well, Shaheen, welcome to my home. We're in the red centre of Australia, the great Mungatiri Simpson Desert, our second golden seed. On your little seed, make some magic for us. A bilby and a rock wallaby. Shaheen, can't we stay a bit longer? Oh, no time to lose, I know. Okay, next stop. Where in the world is Patagonia?
How are you feeling, Maddy?
Pretty nervous.
You'll be great. Sorry I can't get back to Sydney. Melbourne's just gone into another lockdown overnight, but I'll be right beside you. Virtually.
Can't they just wait till you can be here in person?
I've asked, filed a motion for a stay of proceedings, but the government's denied it. You have to keep going. Your dad's got all my notes, in case there's any hiccups.
Looks like there's quite the storm coming your way too, Adrian.
Once in 100 years, they say. Lucky you two missed it on your drive up to Sydney. I'll be right here.
We'll stay safe. We'll see you in court.
See you in court.
Shaheen! I know you're tired. And if I could do it without you, I would. Just, please, don't drop me on one of those snow-capped mountains. I am holding on as tight as I can. I swear!
Your Honour, my client argues that the Australian government has been negligent in refusing to mitigate the risks of major and long-lived social and health impact. That despite repeated scientific evidence and warnings over many decades, the government has chosen at best inaction, and at worst, taken a course that increases the risk posed to my client and jeopardizes the security of her whole generation.
What happened? Is he coming back? Is he okay? People were trying to adjust the screen, the computer controls, trying to call Adrian on their phones. What's going on?
Okay, so we're having a short recess, and then if we can't get Adrian back online, it looks like I'm going to have to continue with his opening statement.
You. But you're not a lawyer.
Well, I've got his notes.
You did it, Shaheen. You're incredible. Let's find a home for our next seed. Down here, do you think? Careful, it's so rocky and dry. Let's plant our final golden seed here, in this barren desert. What's that? You know, Shaheen, I feel like David Attenborough here. Here, in the Patagonian desert, an Andean deer approaches. She surveys the arid landscape and stands guard.
I'm not sure I can do this, Maddy.
It'll be fine, Dad. Just read the notes.
I'm not as brave as you.
Just pretend you're in a lecture. Just tell them our story.
I thought you told me my stories weren't enough anymore.
I mean, they've gotten us this far, haven't they? You're the one who inspired me to do all this. Inspire them too. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot.
Things are not going to change. They're just not.
So, Shaheen, we still have 2 blue seeds left. Do I just chuck them in the ocean as we pass over? Ah, the slugs. How could I forget? Ugh, gross. But also warming? So what are they supposed to be for? Ah, breathing underwater. Okay, helpful then. To the Pacific. Let's dive on in. Yeah!
Thank you for your patience, Your Honour. To continue where my colleague left off, the government, the Australian government, has a clear and direct duty of care to my my client.
Go on, Dad.
And not only to my client, but to all young Australians, and that duty has been breached. Your Honour, my daughter is a young citizen of Australia born here in this country. She plans on having children and grandchildren here in our hometown of Wagga Wagga, to build a family and to work here. Isn't the Australian government's prime responsibility to protect its citizens? Shouldn't I, as her father, be able to expect that if my government know of any risks to the safety, to the future, that they will act on that knowledge? In the news today, we have wild storms in Melbourne, mass flooding across the state. This is what climate change looks like. We're not talking about something coming for us in the future, we're already here. Our planet is already 1.2 degrees hotter than it was at the start of the Industrial Revolution. Now, our government will argue that we're a small country, that what we do can't make a difference, but if even the smallest person can change our town, so too, a small country can change the world. Now, in my hometown, a report was commissioned to examine the risks of climate change. What do you think it found? A dramatic increase in extreme weather events, intense storms, flooding, heat waves. All of this, Your Honour, will severely impact future generations who will have built homes, who will have built lives. Now, my local community, we're doing the best we can, but is the Australian government? They have all the data, they have the power to do something, to set policy, to take action, and yet they have done nothing. We all know the perils of climate change, Your Honour. My 12-year-old daughter knows that the clock is ticking. So if we all know that it isn't the failure to act, throwing an entire generation under the bus, well, if that's not negligence, Your Honour, I don't know what is. And people wonder why my daughter would be protesting. The question would be why she wouldn't.
You have got to be kidding me! I am not doing that again! Oh, take me home! Take me back now! I am done! I've planted 2 green seeds in the earth, 3 in the desert, and God knows if they'll actually do anything. You could have killed me back there! 1 blue seed in the Pacific Ocean floor, that is going to have to be enough. Well, say something, you overgrown big bird.
Storm leaves behind it a trail of destruction, and eventually Adrian's power and internet connection is restored.
You were great, Paul.
He was brilliant. Now what?
Now we have to listen to their side.
And they talk about how they're investing in technology, not taxes, and how doing anything else would send us back to the dark ages with candles for light and fire pits for cooking. And you know the old argument, what happens when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine?
Batteries, you nongs.
Dad. Then they get stuck into a character attack on Dad, accusing him of negligence for letting me go to protests unsupervised.
Child abuse for letting you protest for your own future.
And how ugly wind farms are destroying our beautiful countryside.
Have they never seen a coal mine?
But mainly, their argument's quite simple. That it's just not their responsibility.
So if it's not their fault, not their problem, and not their responsibility, whose responsibility is it then? Who's to be held accountable for the impact on this young girl's home and future?
What is this? Where is this sheen? It's a world I don't recognize. It's uninhabitable. Seas raging, homes flooded, wildfires blazing, the sun black. There's a date. 1st of January, 2050. at the moon, Shaheen. We've been sitting here all day. Full moon looks incredible tonight. It's the eclipse. We have to get this done before the eclipse. Oh no. Oh, come on, Shaheen. What are you waiting for? Shaheen! Shaheen? Shaheen. Oh, Shaheen, I'll miss you. You beautiful big bird. Little bird.
It's the last day of the hearing. It's a Friday. Adrian gives his summation, but he asks me to have the final word.
Over to you, Maddy.
This is a story my father used to tell me. And so Jack planted the magic seed deep in the earth, and he watered it, and waited, and tended the soil, and waited. And then in the morning, when he went out to check his seed's progress, there grew a tiny little sprout. So he watered it, and he waited, and he tended the soil, and he waited. And then there was a giant beanstalk, so tall it rose all the way to the sky. He marveled at its beauty, and he didn't climb it. He didn't search for giants to fight, nor golden geese to steal, nor did he hack up its limbs for fuel, because he knew that this itself was the treasure. This was the magic, the power of nature to grow and to heal. You have a single magic bean right now in your hands to run, and it's up to you to help it grow.
Now what? Sharks! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! No. Dolphins! Hey! Hey, dolphins! Hey! Hey, I really need your help! Okay, I feel like a total ridiculous mad woman here, but I really need your help. I was given these seeds from the future, and I still have one I need to plant in a total ridiculous hurry because I nearly gave up on saving the planet, and then my falcon died, and then it shrank, which is weird, I know, but I still have the seed, and I need to plant it, and I have no way of even getting off this island, but maybe you can help it. Whoa! Where are we going?
So, the judge has dismissed all the charges against you. She agreed you had a legitimate right to protest. You're free, with a caution.
Oh, that is wonderful news. Thank you so much, Adrian.
A caution and $1,000 fines for damages.
$1,000, Maddy. That's a lot of pocket money you'll be paying me back. Okay, we can talk about it.
So, what about the other one? Maddy versus the minister?
No, this is the one, Maddy. This is the one that matters.
No, Dad, we have to win both cases.
The judge is still deliberating. Give them time.
That's exactly what we're running out of.
The two most powerful warriors. Patience and time. Tolstoy.
And so we meet all my school friends, who were there from the very beginning, who strived all those times for our future on the streets of Wagga.
And eventually, miraculously, we're in the Indian Ocean, and I go down deep one last time.
They're all here, all come all the way to Sydney, and so is my whole family. They walk with me, and we walk. There's this incredible full moon hour. More and more people are joining us spontaneously the further we go, and they're all going absolutely nuts in anticipation.
Slugs still in place as we spiral down past a myriad of sea life, large and small, down deep past wrecks, past rubbish, past squid, past seahorse, through ocean forests, colours draining.
And we end up filling the Sydney Harbour Bridge. A sea of people all crowding the bridge, waiting.
And for a time it's as if we all hold our breath, waiting to hear how the court will respond.
And we wait.
Suspended in time.
And my camera crews film us and beam our light live around the country, zooming in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
And days turn into nights, and this night tonight it is a superb full moon shining down on all of us.
And as I plant the last of the seeds deep in the floor of the Indian Ocean, all I can see above me is darkness. Am I too late? Have I failed?
I see the moon disappearing, little by little, like it's blurring at the edges. What's happening?
And I'm up, gasping for air. The dolphins have vanished. I lay on my back, floating on the ocean.
We all turn our heads to the sky. A lunar eclipse.
Super blood moon lunar eclipse.
I look to the night sky.
And we wait.
We wait.
Wait until...
We wait until the earth, moon and sun move into their perfect alignment.
And then...
And then, at long last...
The moon shines red. Blood red.
A blood red moon. Perfect.
Exhale.
And under the light of that magical moon,
A wonder.
I wonder if what I've done is enough.
Have we done enough to convince them?
And will those seeds do what was promised?
How could so much possibly rest on just one decision?
And I wonder how I'm actually going to get home.
Adrian's phone pinged.
Time to head back to court.
And we race back to court.
Stand as the judge delivers her verdict.
Did you say what I thought she said?
She did.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yes, it does.
So, we won.
Yeah.
We won!
I'm so proud of you, Maddy. I'm great. Thank you so much.
And suddenly, a small catamaran appears on the beach in front of me.
A great injustice has been inflicted by the inaction of one generation of Australian adults upon the next. The court finds that the government has a legal duty of care to all its citizens, including young people, with the significant risks of climate change caused by emissions of carbon dioxide into the Earth's atmosphere. It finds the government negligent in its duty and, in compensation for the adverse impacts that will be suffered, awards damages to the plaintiff.
Is that me?
That is you, Maddy.
You've done it, Katie. Come aboard.
Furthermore, the court imposes a positive obligation on the government to take immediate measures to mitigate against further damage.
So what's all that mean?
It means we won!
And as I climb on board the vessel,
Wind and solar powered, of course.
he shows me the magic taking place around the world. And it is, without question, the most incredible sight.
So they'll have to support renewable energy. They'll have to stop building coal mines, protect forests, and basically do everything we've been asking.
We have a bird's eye view from our satellites of what's happening.
It sounds like a pretty great place to start.
And the golden seeds planted in the deserts are already beginning to grow into enormous beanstalks, shooting straight up to the sky.
With no golden goose, but 7 enormous golden leaves shooting out of the tops of them, reaching out to the sky.
Like enormous golden beach umbrellas to cool.
But how do we ever actually do it?
Oh, we don't. But it sets a precedent, Maddy. It may be our names on the case, but it's not just about us.
And those blue seeds are growing great kelp forests right across our ocean floors,
Spreading out across the seeds to capture carbon and bury it deep into our waters.
cooling our oceans, helping our aquatic life return.
The PM called me, said they accepted the court's decision, and they'd like me to join them at a press conference.
And those green seeds are regenerating grass all across the globe. Green shoots sprouting up in the most unlikely places, growing and spreading at high speed.
Taking over roads and bridges, highways and freeways, the vines winding and wrapping themselves around town halls, office blocks and city skyscrapers.
All around the world, governments and corporations everywhere start to take notice. Things start changing.
The Earth is being reborn.
And the polar ice caps stop melting. The oceans stop rising, the fires stop burning, and the earth stops its relentless warming.
Incredible.
And the dolphins celebrate. You did it.
We did it!
You did it.
And we all head back home.
Hey, kid. Good to see you again. I hear you've been busy since I saw you last.
Oh yeah, just a bit. You went away somewhere?
Yeah, to get out of town for a bit and find my place in the world. You've changed since I saw you last. You've grown, for starters.
Yeah, I guess saving the world does that. You changed too.
I guess you weren't the only one who had some growing up to do.
And we all live happily ever after.
The princess saves the frog. Frogs! All of them!
Yes, especially that endangered southern corroboree frog.
And the Manumea bird.
And the bilbies and the black-flamed rock wallabies and the pink cockatoo.
And the platypus.
And the sandcastles.
And the Siberian tigers.
And the Andean deer.
And the polar bear.
And the gorilla.
And the koalas.
Yes, definitely the koalas.
The planet, our planet is saved and our future is saved. And maybe there's a planet B out there somewhere waiting for us sometime in the future. I don't know about you, but I really wanted to find out. So, we're going to keep screaming at the top of our lungs. Our world's on fire. Do something.
And we will keep dreaming and telling stories until we have done enough to truly save our planet.
So, who's with me?
You know how at one point the dad messed up the handshake? Yeah. And then next time he was drunk. I fully believe that was him accidentally breaking the extra right.
Yeah, but also it's probably in character with the dad still.
Yeah. Oh god, that was good. What's the time? 12:55. Holy shit.